You're welcome back. Yes, we continue our conversation now with the head of research at financial derivatives company, Damilola Akimbami. Good to speak to you, Damilola. Good morning.
For having me.
Yeah, so the eNaira buzz is in the air.
Yes, it is.
And one of the interesting things is that the federal government is expecting this to boost the GDP. How do you see this happening?
Well, the federal government has said that over the next 10 years, with this, with the introduction of the eNaira, we should see an increase in the nominal size of the Nigerian economy to about, it would increase by about $29 billion, let's just say roughly $30 billion. So, well, yes, at least that's going to come from the increased payment system, increased velocity of circulation, meaning that money is changing hands more frequently, so traders can actually create more activity with their funds and churn out more output. So that definitely would have a positive impact on the aggregate economy. But if you look at that size, $30 billion in 10 years. In an economy that is about $500 billion, that's less than, or roughly about 0.6% of the total GDP size. So it's not that significant or something that would make us bring the drums out and start celebrating. But yes, it would have an impact on the market. It would have an impact on the economy. And it's just pushing Nigeria closer to a cashless society, because you know that Nigeria is heavily dependent on cash. So once that is addressed, and like I mentioned earlier, and traders can perform transactions quicker and faster, definitely it would, down the line, improve the aggregate economy.
But I guess it also depends, as Chimize noted, on the spread of infrastructure and access to it. Because if the networks, even because I learned that you can do it offline, it doesn't have to be with the internet. But even with that, you still need the telecommunication network. If you don't have that, then you are still limited.
So a major condition for the eNaira or for the central bank's digital currency to work, whether in Nigeria or in any country, is having that technology infrastructure in place, which Nigeria hasn't been able to fully put in place. So definitely that would be a challenge. And we know that the central bank and the government, they've come out to say that they're going to improve on the usability of that wallet up to the point that Nigerians who don't use smartphones or have a data or internet-enabled phone will still be able to operate on the blockchain wallet platform. So definitely that needs to be addressed. So it's a major issue until you address the technology infrastructure. And bear in mind that we have a young population. The median age in Nigeria is about 19 years. These are people that are very digital savvy, and they know a lot about that. But then again, the wealth are with the older generation. So the young people, they are aware of this. So it shouldn't be a challenge in terms of getting people on board, understanding how the platform works. But the government also has to put the necessary infrastructure. You also have to partner with the relevant sectors. So the ICT sector, the telecoms operators, having the necessary fiber optic cables in place. Because if you don't have that in place, then the process, that seamless process, will be affected. Because the eNaira is supposed to make payment system easier. It's supposed to make it safer, cheaper. So that cost of cash management, cash handling charges will be removed. So you need, this is a pilot phase. So definitely it's the teething phase. A lot of things, it's not going to be smooth at first, definitely. And we've been the first African country to have this launched. Definitely we have the first mover advantage, but also we stand to make mistakes.
To make the mistakes for others to learn
from us, exactly. But I think it's a good initiative, and it'll be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, and some people have been talking about using the eNaira as a hedge. You know, I guess well, like you said, it was just unveiled yesterday.
Yes.
We still need a lot of highlighting and education to do. But I think it's been put out there that the eNaira has the same worth as the Naira.
Exactly.
Whatever happens to the Naira happens to your e-wallet or whatever you have in your e-wallet. So you can hardly, it's not a form of investment. It's just like the Naira that we have, just the e.
So the eNaira is backed by fiat currency. So the same value your 1 Naira or 1,000 Naira note can purchase, the value of that is the same value of your 1,000 Naira in your eNaira wallet. So if the value of the Naira appreciates, for instance, against a basket of currencies, that would also reflect on your eNaira wallet. So it's not that eNaira wallet is going to be any more money than your
it's not forex.
It's not forex. So, and it's legal tender. So definitely the government has come out clearly to state that it is legal tender. So everyone has to accept it and be able to use it to make payments across the country.
And already, I think about 13 banks are on board.
Oh, yes, most of the banks are on board. I was able to download mine this morning. I had some issues, but at least I was able to download it. So again, that just speaks back to the issue about the technology and ensuring that everything is in place. So almost all the banks are on board. Once you, obviously, if you have your BVN and whatever. So the risk there is, again, one, cybersecurity. Anything that has to do with the digital space, cybersecurity is a major issue. And does Nigeria have the infrastructure, again, to address that? That is a major issue. And also, eNaira brings about increased regulatory oversight. And that is why the eNaira, the digital currency, is different from cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency operates outside the regulatory oversight. But eNaira, the digital currencies are regulated. So there's that fear that it could be abused or there could be tighter restrictions. Or so that is a major concern of Nigerians, especially in the economy.
Yeah, I know a lot of Nigerians do the wait and see approach.
Exactly. Let's see how that pans out.
Let's see others do. Let's see how it goes before I get on board. Do we see this making any difference to value of Naira, transactions, foreign reserves, exchange rates? These are questions that people are asking.
Well, like I said earlier, whatever happens to your Naira note would happen to your eNaira wallet. So one, definitely it will improve remittances and remittance flows, because it's supposed to make payment transactions easier. It's supposed to make that seamless and faster. So you would definitely see that. So if transaction costs are eliminated, the cost of transactions are reduced, or definitely that would encourage more people to use it, because that's a major issue. So for instance, if I want to transfer funds to someone, whether locally or internationally, and I know I don't have to pay exorbitant charges, I will be more encouraged to use my eNaira. So when as Nigerians get a better understanding of how this is going to play out, definitely we're going to see that increase in the use of the eNaira. And again, if you are churning out more funds, more transactions, that will lead to increased output, because then manufacturers, traders can produce more. And if you're producing more, that would increase your aggregate output and definitely will feed into your economic growth. So it's not necessarily, it's not forex. it's not going to increase your forex allocation or what have you. Whatever value you have in your e-wallet is similar to what you have.
It's just going to make transactions easier and cheaper.
Yes, it's a digital platform, so you're not handling cash. I don't have to bother about my mutilated notes or things like that, or maybe it being
and then these times of COVID.
Exactly. So everything is digitalized.
And then also because it's peer-to-peer, so you don't have the issue of you send money to somebody that has to go through the bank oh, I didn't get the alert or something, because this is
going to be and because it's digitalized, it's been monitored by the CBN and regulations, so it can be easily tracked and monitored. And if there's any issue, obviously you could there are trails you could always
and the CBN has the backing. Is backing this. Okay, so let's go look at our external reserve. It has increased about $41 billion. What drove this?
Okay, so a number of factors: higher oil prices. Oil prices are around $85, $86 per barrel right now. The IMF SDR funds that we received last month, and also the Eurobond proceeds, the $4 billion that we're able to raise from the Eurobond market. So these have contributed to the increase or the accretion in the external reserves. But yes, we're talking about, so we increase forex supply, but then we have a backlog of forex demand. We have a high import bill, especially when it comes to fuel. So for instance, people will talk about, but we're earning so much in terms of oil receipts because oil prices are higher. But because we have a high fuel import bill, so basically almost all what we're earning in terms of forex from oil is being spent to fund our fuel import bill. So for instance, now about 30% of the total forex bill is being spent on refined products that are imported. So that's the major issue. So on one hand, yes, the government benefits from increased oil prices, higher government revenue, FAC allocation, external reserves accretion. But then again, you have to, because our refineries are defunct, so basically we're importing everything. And that's where the Dangote refinery comes in place, which is expected to resume operations or commence operations in 2022. So if you have the likes of Dangote refinery coming up, you have maybe even other new private refineries coming on stream, the rehabilitation of the old refineries. Preferably, it would be better if the government can even sell those, so at least they are freeing up cash for the government to use for other things. And definitely that would reduce, it will boost domestic refining capacity and reduce
the pressure on
what the
foreign
government
exchange.
is spending.
So, but when we look at the full scenario, can we say Nigeria has started benefiting from the booming oil prices at this time?
Oh, to an extent, we are. So, like I said, it's one of the reasons why we're seeing that accretion in external reserves. But why it's not felt that much is because, again, we have that huge import bill. So what the expenses, the government expenditure far outweighs what is earning from oil. And again, look at production, because there are two sides to this story. Oil prices, yes.
I think production is about 1.2 or something?
Well, it increased about 1.4 million barrels based on OPEC's recently released report. But that's still significantly below
1.8 that we're supposed to do.
Which is the budget benchmark. So you have to look at both of them together. So yes, higher oil prices would offset the low production levels. But if you can ramp up the production levels and take advantage of this rally that is ongoing, then yes, we stand a better chance.
Yeah, well, I hope because our next conversation has to do with the reduction of piracy and insecurity on our waters. So perhaps this would...
which is one of the issues affecting...
Yes, it's insecurity. That's what has stopped us from optimizing our crude production.
Yes. And led to force measures by the international oil companies, yes.
Just before we let you go, tell us what's going on in the commodity space.
Yes, so in the domestic commodities market right now, if you even look at our basket, almost all the commodities in our basket are recording higher prices, apart from maybe just to cement and new yam, which have been flat in terms of their price. And that's just reflective of what is going on, because one would have thought, oh, right now, because this is the harvest season and what have you, but that is yet to, we are yet to feel that impact on commodity prices. And as we move closer to December and the Christmas festivities commence, definitely we're going to see increased demand for these commodities. So commodity prices are going to remain elevated.
So we don't have a breather this year.
No. Commodity prices are high, energy prices are high, and definitely that would feed into inflation.
Cooking gas is high.
Yes.
Not funny at all. Well, thank you so much, Damilola, for being a part of the show today. Really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your day.
And you too. Thank you very much.
All right. So we'll take a break now. After the break, reports of piracy and other insecurities in the Nigerian waters, and the Gulf of Guinea reduces by 77%. That's good news, right? We'll have that discussion after the break. Do join us.